Welcome to Live, Let Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Myka and Steve.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to
another exciting episode of Live,
Let
Thrive.
There we go.
So spontaneous. Mahogany's like, what? Oh,
I'm
let.
sorry, I should pay attention.
And today, this is one of our biggest podcasts yet.
What episode is this?
27. Yeah, we're on episode 27.
Cool.
Almost 30. We can now officially, I don't know what you can do at 27, but we do have a special guest. We have one half of the hosts of the Airbnb podcast, Shampoo and Booze. Let's welcome Ryan onto the show today.
Hey.
What's up, Ryan?
Hey.
How are you?
Oh, how good. How are ya?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thanks for being on.
Yeah.
This is like a huge honor. We're huge fans of Shampoo and Booze.
Yes,
Sure.
we are.
Hey.
I'm sorry? You still there?
I just said thanks.
Oh.
That's so nice to hear.
Oh, yeah, we're huge fans. You guys actually inspired our podcast to an extent, so.
Yeah, actually, I was
Oh,
supposed to do a
cool.
podcast with Myka.
A what?
A podcast.
Opposite of podcast.
Podcast.
Sorry, my Oregon accent. We were supposed to do a podcast together, me and Myka, inspired by Shampoo and Booze, and then he kicked me off and picked up Steve instead, since he had the equipment. I don't know.
I got the mics, all right?
That helps. That does help, yeah.
So at least you know you got 3 fans, Ryan. That's good. That's us 3 right here.
That's right. That's right. That's very nice to hear.
You know, it's gonna be it's cool because like you're on our show and we've been listening to your show, but we always hear you with Jay, and it's funny because like y'all just like keep talking over each other the whole show, and it's like I don't know, it's not meant to be hilarious, but to me it's hilarious. I enjoy it the heck out of it.
So,
Yeah, we definitely complete each other's thoughts. That's for sure. That happens all the time. And there's sometimes when he's like, wait, let me finish. No, that was not what I was thinking. I'm like, okay.
So did y'all have like hand signals going on while y'all are doing it, or are you just talking?
No, but I do a lot of editing. So there are times where we're just like, we just need to cut that whole section out. So it does help to have post-production going on.
Oh yeah, I clean ours up pretty good. What were you gonna say, Myka?
Oh, no, I was just looking at the notes because I just wanted to, like, really hop right into it. Like, pretty much my first question is, what the heck have you two been up to, you and Jay?
What have we been up to? I mean, we just finished our second renovation. So that's been, we got it on Airbnb and it's the second house. So it's like, for us, I mean, we're really hands-on. So it's a lot of work. I don't think I realized how much work it would be to have 2 going at once.
Oof.
Because we have the first one for 3 years. So we were like, we'll just have a second one. And, I'm at the point now where I'm like, okay, I definitely need like a second washer dryer. Like this is not something that's in question right now. So
do you wash everything yourself?
Yeah, we do all the linens. We do all the laundry.
Wow.
And it's 2 houses and both are essentially 3 bedrooms each.
Oh wow.
So how much?
So it piles up.
So how much are you, like, what's the average night price that you rent out both of them for?
Yeah, it really depends. I wish Jay's really the numbers person, and he's the one that sets the prices too. But it depends on the season because we're not in an urban area. I feel like if we were in an urban area, we could just be like, we're going to ask whatever we want any night of the week. But we're in a rural area. We're in the Shenandoah Valley, and weekends are a different price than weeknights, and it depends on the season. It depends on if it's a holiday weekend, like next weekend is a holiday weekend. So we adjust the prices from there. And actually, our new one we've priced low because we're like, let's book this thing. Let's get reviews. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it depends. You know, summer is peak season. I mean, there'll be nights where I'm booking, you know, a holiday weekend for $300 a night. You know, and then off season during the week, probably the lowest we go is 150. We don't go any lower than that.
So do y'all use Beyond Pricing at all?
We do our own pricing, and we adjust it. I mean, as the weeks go on, and we're like, oh, nobody books, you know, during the week. Let's bring the price down.
Right.
That's something I should consider doing. Because I've been kind of lazy. I just kind of been throwing everything on Beyond Pricing and just kind of letting it go. That's a good thing. Cause
I don't know. What you call it, lazy or no time to sit there and do that?
Right.
I don't know, because, okay, if she's changing them every day, right, that means your listing gets updated every day. Well, I guess it gets updated with Beyond Pricing, but if you're physically doing it, I guess I don't know. We could try it for a week.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that from different people where they've said, you know, if you tweak your listing every day a little bit, you know, change a price here and there, then that has, like, you know, the algorithm sees it. And, you know, it's funny because we sell on eBay too, and there's so many theories about the search algorithm. Like, you know, you need to end all your listings and restart them every 30 days. And it's the same thing where we're like, you know what? We're just going to let it go. And if we feel like, hey, nobody's booking this weird week in November, it's like, okay, just tweak the price a little bit and see what happens. And maybe nobody wants your house that week at all, you know. Mm-hmm. But it's one of those things where, like, I feel like you just have so little control over it. Mm-hmm. And you just have to have a good listing.
That's true. I think I heard it on your podcast, I guess, that you had say that if you go in and, like, change the descriptions on the photos or something, you know, it kind of makes your listings get bumped up to the top of the search or something like that.
Right, yeah, I think a lot of people have that theory, but we, like, in terms of eBay, we're just like, list it and forget it. Like, don't look at anything, don't tweak the prices, just let it go, you know? So same with Airbnb. I'm like, you have good photos, you have a good title, you have a good reviews, you have good customer service, like, you're golden. That's it.
That's what really matters.
I have a dumb question for you, Ryan. I never took geography class in school, so where is the Shenandoah Valley?
Okay, so we are, that's a good question. It's not a dumb question.
It's dumb.
We are 2 hours outside of Washington, D.C.
2 hours outside of where?
Washington, D.C.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're pretty close. So we get a lot, like, our Airbnb is like a majority weekenders from D.C.
Cool. As long as y'all aren't Redskin fans, we're still cool with you.
She's from Boston. She's probably a Patriots fan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a sports person, although it's really funny going back home and everyone's like, check out the game. And I'm like, what game? What sport is it?
I'm the same way.
I don't.
Ryan, I'm the same way.
Good.
What sports season is it?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, Red Sox or Patriots? I don't know. Right. Bruins.
My question is, do you work? Do you and your husband, he's your husband, right? Jay?
Jay, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Do y'all work a full-time job?
We sell on eBay full-time. That is our full-time job, is selling on eBay. So we have another podcast called Scavenger Life.
Scavenger Life. Okay. I need to tune into that.
It's funny. Yeah. We were just talking about kind of doing that. Because, like, we've been buying all this furniture and stocking it in our garage. And then we realized we can actually resell it. So, like, how does your kind of scavenger life kind of work? Is that kind of how it works? Or?
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. When we just finished our renovation, we were like, we have all this stuff that we didn't use or didn't work, didn't fit. We got something else. And, yeah, we would either sell it on Craigslist or sell it on eBay.
Wow.
But eBay is my main source of income. eBay is what paid for both these houses and both these renovations. I know that sounds crazy, but when you work full-time. Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
the great thing is that Airbnb now is like coming up to that level. So we're like, okay, we can kind of like back off on eBay a little bit. Like you can kind of like chill out on doing that to pay for those things because like Airbnb's making money. So that was kind of our plan was, invest in real estate and do short-term rentals so that you can sort of cut, it's not passive income. It seems like you can do it some ways that are passive income, but the way we do it is very hands-on. So, it is still a lot of work to keep up with it, but it's different kind of work.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So it's different than like a daily grind kind of office job for sure.
I feel that.
So you'd rather have these two jobs than your actual your old day job.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I had a day job for like 2 seconds. I was like, I can't do this.
What was your day job?
Yeah. I was in college for video editing and video production.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked at a television station in Boston. I worked on a kids TV show at WGBH, which is like the best job you can possibly have in video production in Boston. I was like, I can't do this. I can't have a boss. Sorry.
Oh, so you're famous.
Yeah. I mean, I was a nighttime editor, so like nobody knew who I was.
Oh,
But
okay.
but I was right out of college, and I was like, and then I found video on the internet, which kind of like exploded with YouTube and stuff. But that's how Jay and I met. And then I just became an independent worker after that, and both my parents are independent workers. They, my dad's a contractor. My mom was like a self-taught artist. So that's just who I learned from. Like they never had jobs in an office. So I was just like, I don't know. That's not something that makes sense to me.
So your scavenger life, that podcast is very popular, right?
I mean, yeah, we have actually just last year started a forum. Before we just had a blog with comments, and now we have a forum that's actually getting pretty active. I can almost like not keep up with it on a daily basis. So that's really what was interesting to us for starting both these podcasts was to have a community of people, just like who are these other people doing this, and how is it working for them, and how can we learn from each other, and that's what we love about podcasting and just being on the internet in general. I'm sure you guys have found that. Actually, I saw one of you guys on Bigger Pockets the other day. I was like, hey!
You know what? That was my question. Are you guys on Bigger Pockets? That was one of my questions.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in just two different forums. I'm on the flipping forum, which I kind of like unsubscribed from because I was like, I don't think I'm interested in flipping. I'm interested in short-term rentals. So I saw you guys on short-term rentals forum.
That must have been Myka. He's all over that.
Yeah, I'm a Bigger Pockets nerd.
So. Yeah, me too. I read it every day. Like I look at everything on the short-term rental forum because it's great. Like people are so helpful and so knowledgeable. It's amazing. It's an amazing community.
Yeah, it is. Back to you were a video editor, and did you ever think about putting your podcast on YouTube? But like I know, just putting them there is one thing, but like actually filming y'all, talking and interacting, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good question. People have asked us that, and we get a lot of comments where they're like, "It's just audio. I can't see the video." There's no video. But no, I think because I edit it a lot. I mean, it doesn't.
Oh,
It could be like a live podcast, but there'd be so many cuts. I mean, there are so many times where we're like just discussing, okay, what are we going to talk about next? Or should we take a phone call, like a voicemail call or, it's like I just feel like it would be really boring to watch,
And probably awkward.
And awkward. So how does
I feel like it would be really awkward.
So how is it working with your
me,
spouse? Is that pretty, is it just perfect harmony or is it pretty rough at times?
No, like Jay and I have been together since 2004. So
nice.
it's been a while. I'm like,
how'd you do it? No,
long?
I'm just kidding. Different podcast.
Yeah. Like how But, there are times like during the renovation, it can get very stressful. It's just, there are times where you're just like, I don't even know how anybody does this. But I really feel like, from the beginning, we like merged bank accounts. Like we're actually not married. We just call each other husband and wife because we live in a rural area and people are like, they don't get it if you don't say you're married. But we merged bank accounts really early, and I feel like that was a huge deal, where you're like, we're sharing money and we have to talk about this from day one, because we got an apartment together, and I was like, we have to split this. Like, we have to figure out these finances like right now. And to me, that's like being married. I mean, I know married couples that like don't talk about that stuff, and I'm like, I don't know how you're even going to survive that. So
yeah, not sharing money.
Right, not sharing money, not talking about money, not talking about finances, and like, we were interested in purchasing property and doing renovations, and that takes massive amounts of money sometimes. If you're like, we're just going to do this in cash. So you have to learn how to deal with that stuff and deal with it together. And I think we do a pretty good job. It's not easy, but we've been able to do it. 3 houses in a row. So,
wow.
How far apart were each house? Was each house?
So you mean geographically or like in time?
In time.
In time. So we bought our house that we live in 2009. It took 2 years to renovate it. And then we were done in January 2011. And then by September, we had bought a second house.
Okay.
Which was our first rental. And then that took us a long time to renovate because we took a lot of breaks. We paid for it all in cash. That took us about 3 years. We rented it for about 2.5 years, and then we bought our other house I'm trying to think, it was November 2015, so it was 2 years ago. So it's been a little stop and start because we like to do the renovations in cash. Because we borrow to pay for the second 2 houses, we borrowed a mortgage for those, and then we were like, I don't want to take out a loan for the renovations. So we just save money and then do it piece by piece, which is not always great, but it did work. We did make it work.
You got it. So how was that? Did y'all like not travel much during those times, and how'd you save? Was it like strict budgeting, no eating out, no shopping? Was it like that?
We don't do any of that. We don't do any of that anyway. Like, we live in a super rural area. There's nowhere to eat. There's like pizza places. And we don't travel unless we're traveling for video work. We still do video productions. And then that travel gets paid for by the people we're working for. So yeah, no, we're super frugal. Like, when we're renovating a house, we're just like, I'm eating chicken soup every day, and that's fine.
So would you say you guys have plans eventually to be at a point where you can travel and, live kind of like that luxurious life in the most frugal way possible? Or are you okay with how you guys live without having all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely, like, right before, I think when we first started talking to you guys, we were traveling for 6 weeks in Scandinavia. So it's not like we don't do those things.
Just not on your
we were on like this huge trip. Awesome. Yeah. But we're super frugal about it. Like, we were over there and we were like driving around Norway eating ramen. That was fine.
That's cool.
I mean, so it's like, how many people can say they like did that?
Yeah.
And we obviously use Airbnb for like cheaper accommodations and stuff, so that helps. But overall, I mean, we do not spend money on anything. We don't have a car payment. Like, we only buy clothes at thrift stores. Like, that's fine with me. If I own property and I can, basically it's like rich dad, poor dad, have assets that make you money. And I'm like, I have assets that make me money, and that's what I care about more than like having a brand new car.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to ask real quick. How many houses do y'all plan to accumulate?
I don't think we have come up with that number yet. But we keep looking. Like, I'm sure you guys are the same way, where you're just like constantly looking at real estate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we just always look at everything that's for sale in our county. We live in a very small county. So we just like get, Redfin or Zillow alerts like every single time something's listed. So yeah, I mean, we're still looking. I think that there's a point where you say, okay, we're done accumulating property and we're just gonna go on vacation, or, like just do the work that it takes to maintain these ones. But I don't know that number. We're not done. I know we're not done.
And y'all are focusing on short term, right? So my
it's all short term.
So my question would be, let's just say, I know it might not happen, probably won't happen, but the town you're at or whatever, it decides to get strict on Airbnbs and they change the rules. You can't have them anymore. You have to live in one to do it or something like that. Do y'all have like a exit strategy, a plan B?
Yeah, I've been reading a lot actually on the Bigger Pockets forums. I'm sure you guys have too. Just people who are like, I bought a condo and I didn't read the rules or something, or they changed the rules.
That was us. Well, we knew the rules though.
She was reading my posts.
I mean, it seems like there have been a few of those posts in the last week where I'm like, that really sucks. Like, I would not want to be that person. But fortunately, where we live is the huge economy here is tourism. And it's short-term rentals. And the people who run short-term rentals have run them for like the last 40 years. So that absolutely will not change here. But if that were to change for some reason, I don't know. I mean, we would sell our properties, but I feel like the reason that properties are worth money in certain parts of our county is because it is a known vacation rental or, short-term rental. Like the second house we bought since they built it in 1973, it was a vacation rental from day one. So
Nice.
that's the beauty of where we live, is that that's like built into where we live. It is like the main source of tax revenue,
Nice.
which we kind of just stumbled upon. We just moved here and we were like, oh, that's cool. Let's try that. And, that worked. So yeah, but I see, I understand that question. My mom has a condo in Clearwater Beach in Florida, and the shortest term you can rent to people is a month. And I'm just like, no, do not let me inherit that, because I do not want it.
Well, have you thought about, because like that's how it is with our condo, but we ended up turning it into something really profitable. You could tell her to do corporate renting. Has she ever thought about that?
No, and I would love to hear more about that, because I saw you say that on Bigger Pockets the other day, and I was like, how does that work? And are you doing it through Airbnb, or is there another venue for that?
I do it through Airbnb, corporate housing by owner, and Gypsy Travel Nurse. So pretty much
Okay.
I like target traveling nurses, and pretty much they'll pay a high amount for a furnished place because all they do is work contracts. When that contract's over,
Right.
they up and go. We've had a lady in our condo for about 6 months now, and she's about to leave. We're going to have a 2-week vacancy period, and someone else is coming in right after. So it's a huge market for it. So if you want to tell your mom that, she could definitely throw that condo on there, because a lot of people are looking for condos for that. Because that was our exit strategy from Airbnb in short-term rentals with our condo.
That's so smart. I mean, it's really good to hear that you're able to keep that condo too. I mean, that's the thing is when I read those stories, I'm like, what do you do? You're just like, I have to liquidate this right now.
Yeah, we did panic for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought we can be slick because we actually did know about the rule, but it was like a week before closing we found out about the rule. And then I was like, what are we going to do? Let's not close on this place. And Micah's like, it'll be all right. You know, they're not going to be watching us that closely. And then next thing you know, the HOA is emailing us pictures of our guests who are coming in and out.
Horrifying. Oh, no. That's awful.
Yeah,
It was for a minute, but it worked out. And I like it better because, like you, I'm the one who has to, like, wash everything and clean it. So I'm like, oh, yeah, if someone's in there for a couple months, I don't have to get in there and clean. So what I do is I just go pick up the comforters so they don't have to wash them themselves and take it to the cleaners every couple weeks. And that's way easier than washing everything myself, like, on every couple days.
Yeah. Yep.
And their condo story, by the way, is still my favorite story from our podcasts. The way their condo story went, it was pretty spectacular. Do you want to go into that or no?
Oh, you want to go into that?
I could say it.
Well, we truly got shut down because Mahogany got real close to the guy on the board, and we found out one of the other guys was Airbnb-ing his place out too. But, like, he would only do it on the weekends because, like, I guess he flew out of town, right? Mm-hmm. So he was Airbnb-ing his place out on the weekends, but the same guy was sitting here booking his place. So he never occurred to him that maybe something was going on. So ended up finding out the guy was running a prostitution ring out of his place, and that's when they kind of cracked down.
He said they were fornicating by the pool and everything.
Fornicating by the pool.
That's what the old man
told me. That's a nightmare.
Well, yeah, so like after that, that's when they got real strict on it. They were sending pictures of people's guests. If you had guests coming in, it was got pretty crazy.
So he basically ruined it for you.
Pretty much. He ruined it for everybody because they cracked down on it. It was like,
ruined it for them and a lot of clients, unhappy clients.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I want a refund.
Right.
Oh my God.
So still my favorite story.
Yeah.
I have a question. Do y'all have children, or do y'all have plans on having children?
Wow,
not really so Airbnb related, but
I'm just kidding. We totally talk about that on our other podcast all the time. No, we don't have kids, and we don't plan on having kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love my independent lifestyle. I love being like, what am I going to do today? What do I feel like doing today? And that is like the ultimate for me. And that's why we do Airbnb, and that's why we do eBay. We just love having just whatever, we work
no strings attached.
Yeah, but you're just kind of like today we did just the various random things. We ran into town, we paid our property tax, we picked up some furniture that we bought, we went to the other house and cleaned one of the houses, we did some laundry, we did some eBay, just whatever. So for me, I'm just like, that works for me. I don't want anything in the way of that, basically, including children.
They would definitely be in the way. Our 2-year-old son is racking up $10 an hour right now with the babysitter. So I feel that.
Your son was 2?
He's 2
years old?
Yes.
Yeah, that's quite an age. I babysat and nannied a lot. So I'm like, I know what it's like.
You know exactly what's going on right now.
They get into everything.
So y'all use VRBO also, right?
Yeah, we have the listing on VRBO and Tripadvisor.
Huh.
Which is, we rarely get listings from there. We get, I would say, 90% from Airbnb.
Question. Have you ever had a guest from Tripadvisor?
We have had a couple guests from Tripadvisor. Yeah, we have, which for a long time we were on Flipkey, which is by Tripadvisor. I don't really understand the difference. But we went off of Tripadvisor for a while because we were like, we're not getting any, bookings. And I'm constantly like making sure the calendar is synced, even though you can kind of automatically sync them. But, all that stuff. Or we would get lots of inquiries, but no one would ever book. And then I was seeing a lot of other people on Tripadvisor, and I was like, I'm just going to put the listing back up. And we've gotten a few, like week-long reservations, which week-long is amazing. Like you said, less laundry to do, and it's a higher payout. And you're like, great. But it's rare. I mean, the Tripadvisor and VRBO / HomeAway, they're kind of the same thing. They're like good vacation, like summertime week-long rentals. And I feel like Airbnb is a lot of last-minute people and a lot of weekenders. I mean, we'll get week-long rentals from Airbnb, of course, but it's a lot of like last-minute and weekenders, which is a majority of our market.
And because the reason I asked you that is because I had my listings on Tripadvisor. I've never got a reservation through there, so I just took them down. But VRBO seems to. I actually get a lot through VRBO, and that's what I was wondering. Do you guys kind of price yours at a higher price on VRBO, or are you guys still on there? Or did you take them down from VRBO?
Yeah, we're still on VRBO, and we do have a higher price. Like, I don't tweak my prices really on VRBO. I just kind of like set it and forget it. I'm just like, this is the price. The other thing about VRBO is they allow you to add your tax rate, because we pay 10.5% taxes. It's like 5% to the county and 5.5% to the state of Virginia. And they let you add that into your price. Airbnb, where we live, does not allow you to add that.
Oh, do they do it automatically in your area or no?
On Airbnb, no, there's nothing. They're basically like, just add it to your base price.
Wow.
Quick question then. Are you actually paying that, or are you going to play the old I didn't know but
No, I pay it. I absolutely do. I pay it. And the crazy thing about the sales tax or retail tax, whatever they call it, it's self-reporting where we live, which is kind of wacky. I'm like, I know most of these people around here are not reporting like anything close to what they're making, but I fully report. I'm like, this is my gross receipts from the month, and then I report it to the federal government at the end of the year too.
Yeah,
which I'm sure.
See, well, I mean,
you're supposed to do that.
Yours is 10%. That's really good because ours is a total of 15%. State,
oh my God, really?
Yeah, because state, local, and then because Jerry Jones also, the Cowboys owner, he takes his cut of the money too. So yeah, ours is really high, but
yeah,
but I don't think people report it. Do you report yours, Steve?
But I just started, and yes, Mr. IRS, I do report mine.
yes.
But they
no, I don't.
But the they put it where the people can pay the tax when they or the 11% hotel tax, right? The hotel, guests pay that.
The hotel occupancy tax is paid by the guests, but the local tax.
Yeah, I know the local thing is, but all together you're adding both of them up, right?
Yeah, all together it's a total of 50%.
And so they pay 11% of that, right? They add the 11% tax, the hotel tax, to the guests?
Oh, no. 9% is local. 6% is federal.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So in Ryan's situation, she's total in 10%. It would still be better. Her place is still better. You know what I mean?
We should get a spot over there.
I know. Yeah, that's pretty cheap.
We'll be your competitors.
But the great thing is about reporting that and paying it is you can write it off. I mean, you're like, I paid all these sales taxes. I mean, not that it's tough because you're like, every month I'm like, oh, it's so much.
Yeah.
But, that's like any taxes, any fees. You're like, oh, that's my profit. It sucks. But, the other thing too is like, we live in a super poor county. Like, I think we have the highest unemployment rate in Virginia. Oh. And I'm like, you know what? I want to help my county, so I do want to pay this. You know, I do want to fully report everything I make, so I do.
That's awesome. That's bravo for that.
Yeah, that's good karma, like my wife said.
So
Yeah.
So Ryan, you're obviously witnessing that this is like a mashup of two super powerful shows, right? You got Shampoo and Booze on one end,
So silly.
LLT, Live Let Thrive on the other end, and we're coming together and just mashing up some awesome podcasting going on. So on that note, what is your favorite like mashup of all time? Like kind of like a Laverne and Shirley, Bone and Biggie, Pearl Jam, and Audio Slave. No, what was that?
I don't know any of that.
You see what I'm getting at, right? What's your favorite mashup of all time?
My favorite mashup.
Peanut butter
Wow,
and jelly.
That's like super. Yeah, I was like, I don't know, Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I do not know. That's a very large question.
It is. And okay, what's your favorite two things that like Mahogany said, peanut butter and jelly, like something like that just goes together. Two things that you would think, wow, that won't go good together, you know? And then it's like just awesome. It just works.
Well, clearly, since it's a theme in my life, it's eBay and Airbnb.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Airbnb.
that has to be my answer because that's how I make a living.
It's a boring answer, but still.
Online giants right
Just kidding.
there.
That's
Dang,
cool.
Stevie threw off my whole question I had.
What was your question?
I
Mahogany?
forgot.
Okay, let me ask
You know I don't
Myka.
write
What's
things
your
down.
favorite mashup of all time?
My favorite mashup of all time? Well, you have to kind of go TV shows, music,
Of
whatever.
everything. Okay, we'll do TV show first. What you
TV
got?
show? My
Yeah.
favorite crossover was The Defenders on Netflix.
The Defenders?
You've never watched The Defenders?
Uh-uh.
Oh, Steve! That's like Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, what's it called? Iron Fist. You never watched? That's like the biggest mashup right now.
Wow, they all came together.
Yeah, they're on one show called The Defenders. You guys haven't seen that?
No.
Oh man, I need to hang around.
Oh, it's
some
like
nerds.
not on the suggested list. Clearly, you're like they're not suggesting.
Yeah, so definitely watch that. That's my favorite mashup of all time.
Mahogany, your favorite mashup?
Peanut butter and jelly.
Okay,
No,
the
I'm-
classics.
No, it's Grey's Anatomy
Oh my
because it's
god.
a huge
I
mashup.
love Grey's Anatomy. But that's not a mashup if it's one thing, is it?
I mean, it's like every single actor in the world's been on it, so
I love Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
I get kicked out of the room when it comes on.
Yeah, I get really like
She's like, shut up.
any noise I hear, like I'll kick my son out of the room. Like, you need to go in there.
Okay. Well, on that note, you've heard, what was that other one? Private Practice that spun off of that, right?
Oh,
Private
yeah.
Practice. I called my buddy Jimmy once. I would give him hell, whatever. And he's like, I was like, what's up, dude? What you doing? He's like, oh, just drinking some Chardonnay, watching some Private Practice. And I'm like, dude, this is back in the day. That's the most unmanly thing that I've ever heard in my life. Drinking. Sorry, I just had to throw Jimmy under the bus there.
Oh, but another question I did have for you, because you guys said you were in, Scandinavia for 6 weeks?
Yeah.
So have you found a way to remotely manage both of your properties and take those vacations like that?
Yes, we did actually remotely manage while we were there. It was a little bit stressful, but we do have a cleaner, so we clean when we need to if we're like, she's not available or whatever. But she cleans the whole time. We're on WhatsApp with her, which is like a texting app. So we were managing the house that way. We were, that's the great thing about Airbnb. You can just be on your phone and you're talking to people, giving them the door code, making sure everything's okay. I do have a point person too that lives in town, that if there was like a super emergency or the air conditioning went out, I would call her and be like, hey, go take care of this and I'll pay you by the hour. That's never happened. So I was, we weren't doing both houses. I will say that. We were just doing one. And I had a friend who I paid to do all the laundry. So that was like a continuous, like I had a written out actual paper calendar where I knew when the laundry had to get done and when there was like, a 3-hour cleaning that was happening and, when we had to message someone with a door code and stuff like that, even when we were like, in the Arctic Circle of Norway.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Just talk over her like Jay does.
That is possible.
So what remote, like you said, you gave him a remote code. What remote lock are you using?
So the lock that we use is not like one of those Wi-Fi enabled locks. It's a QuickSet. It's just like a QuickSet. I think it's called the QuickSet 909. And what we do is we manually reset it like every couple weeks. I used to reset it for every single person. I would do like the last 4 digits of their phone number or something. But I found that people like honestly did not know their own phone number, or like
Dang.
the husband and wife would be like, I don't know, because when you have an iPhone or an Android, it's just like their name. Mm-hmm. You don't just see their phone number.
Right.
So that was becoming a problem where people were like, I don't know your phone number.
Welcome to 2017.
So we just we switch it out pretty frequently, actually, and then we just do it manually, because I find with those Wi-Fi code locks, I don't know what you guys use, but it seems like a lot of them are like subscription based. So the company actually will provide you with the codes, and like you can't do it yourself. So I haven't been able to find a lock that was like you're saying, if I was overseas and I was like, okay, here's the code, it's custom for you. It's 4 digits, not like 16 digits.
Yeah. We were using Slage locks, which are pretty much the Bluetooth locks, but we upgraded to the remote lock 5 Eyes, which pretty much are the Bluetooth lock, and you pretty much manage it yourself. Like, I can create a code. Like, today I was at work, and we need to let, I think, the babysitter in, and I just created a code for her on the fly, and boom, she could get in. We actually like them so far. They've been pretty good to us. But the other one we use is the Schlage lock. I think Steve's using it right now, right?
Yeah. And I think one thing that I know one thing Ryan wouldn't like about the remote locks is they charge $10 a month. You know how much ramen noodles that is? It's a lot. It's like a month's supply right there.
Seriously.
So you said, well, I guess never mind. I'll have to talk to you later, Ryan, because I have a lot of share. No, it's okay. Honestly, I don't want to waste time.
I'll talk about anything.
I just love to get to know everyone, so this is not even really.
Go ahead. You built it up too big. You got to do it now.
It's
Watch
really
her
not
go
that
deep
big.
into girl talk. We're gonna be sitting here like.
Since you say you eat ramen noodles, how big are you like on health, and fitness?
Wait, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that.
Oh, I know you say you eat ramen and stuff, so I want to know, how big are you guys on health and fitness?
Oh, it's funny that I said we ate ramen noodles, because we did while we were over there, because you're like, they're 20 cents. And Scandinavia is like insanely expensive. Like, to fill up the car to drive around, every time you fill up the car, it's like $100.
Ooh.
Not joking.
Yeah, I'd be eating noodles too.
Yeah, so we were like, whatever, but we actually eat a ketogenic diet, so we don't eat.
I know the ketones diet.
Yeah, because we, like, when I hit 30, I'm 38 right now. When I hit 30, like, my metabolism, like, was not the same. It was like, welcome to your 30s, and I would, like, gain 5 pounds a year, and, like, it would not go away. And finally, one of our friends was like, yeah, we're eating, like low carb, high fat. And they became like ultra marathon runners. Like, they run like 100 miles. They're amazing. I don't do that. I'm like, I do not exercise ever. But we cook at home a lot, because we're super frugal, and we work at home all the time. And there's literally nowhere to go to eat where we live. Like, there's no sushi anywhere. So it's like, that's not happening.
What?
Yeah. I actually make my own, like keto sushi. So
nice.
It's actually great.
So are you the chef? Or are you guys both cook?
No, Jay cooks a lot too.
That's awesome.
We actually just last week bought an Instant Pot. I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
Instant Pot? I've heard. Isn't it like a super fast crock pot?
Yeah, it is so awesome, especially if you're like eating ketogenic and you're like not eating carbs. It's great. So
Nice.
that was a bit of a splurge for us. Like, he bought it brand new on Amazon. I was like, what did you just buy? But it's awesome. So we cook a lot at home. So that helps like keep the, fast food out of our life. But, when you're traveling and stuff and you're overseas, you're like, I don't really know. I'm going to eat a sandwich. This is happening. So that doesn't really happen at home though.
Oh, okay.
So then y'all don't raid the fridges anymore when the guests leave?
Yeah, well, what's funny is when you have a cleaner, like, you never see anything. Like, our podcast is called Shampoo and Booze because that's what people would leave behind all the time.
Yeah.
Because we cleaned our house for over 2 years.
Yeah.
Just by ourselves every single time.
So,
and
your cleaner takes the goods?
That's a bonus,
I mean,
bro.
I never.
It's a bonus.
She's never like, hey, they left a bottle of whiskey. Like, that's never happened. I'm like, I'm sure they. But
the cleaner's
she's
over
definitely taking it home.
I don't blame her.
When I was fleeing South Padre, when the hurricane was it Irma that was rolling through?
Harvey.
Okay, Harvey. And we were vacationing in South Padre Island. We had to leave a day early. So man, and we had so much stuff in that fridge, and I was like, at least the cleaning lady will have a nice, little payday right there. Because we left beer and food, all kinds of stuff, and it kind of.
That's awesome.
But we had to leave. A hurricane was coming. So.
Have y'all ever did Airbnb out of your house, like while living there? They do?
No. Actually, like, in our neighborhood association does not allow it.
Really?
What?
Okay.
Even in a rural area. So, we're like a private neighborhood, and it's like, no, you can't have short-term rentals because people here don't want that. And we're like, all right. So okay. I would have, honestly, because I have a building that's just an office, and it's like a little apartment. But we just can't.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, so, okay, because I always thought you were living in one of the houses while you're renting them out. So you guys live, like, somewhere else?
Yeah, so those two houses that are the short-term rentals, those are purely a business. Like, we have our own house.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you know, but we do Airbnb out of our upstairs at our house that we live in. And
nice.
It's been a big sacrifice because now our 2-year-old shares a room with us, but it's been pretty cool for the most part. So I don't know if you have a story for like the worst guest you've ever had. I know we have. It was just recently, actually. We had these guests come, and it was our first weekend not being home while having guests at the house. And we're like, oh, it's just the weekend. It'll be fine. We were dropping our son off down in Arkansas. We're like, we'll be back. We won't let them know we're not going to be here. We'll just let them know we're out running errands if they need us to text us or call us. Man, we get back. There was like 100 cigarettes on our front porch. There was like a whole meal on our front porch, like a Coke, this bag of bread, and like something else on the front, like another food item on the front porch. They drank like all our waters out of the fridge, and we drink pretty pricey water because we drink the Essentia waters. Those are like $2 to $3 a pop. Dang. Those were all like not even. I would be okay if they drink the whole thing. All of them were like halfway full. They used like all the wet wipes, and I'm guessing like I don't know if they flushed them or like how'd you use a whole pack of new wet wipes? Like what were you doing?
You're like, what's going on here? Yeah.
I got home. I was just really like frustrated. So those were like our worst guests ever.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there was some other things going on in the house when we got back. Oh yeah, the front door was like unlocked. It was just too much. Oh no. So do y'all have any guests that were like the worst guests you've ever had?
I think so. Like, we've never had anybody, do anything wrong or steal anything or any of the like nightmare stories. But I mean, the only things that we've had happen, like you said, were people just being like dirty or sloppy or, there were a couple, the 2 times that I'm like, this is super messy. Like the couple had their wedding, not at our house, but at this venue that's kind of close to us. And then like all their like bridal parties stayed, and I think they left early, and then the bridal party stayed, and it was like super messy, where it was just like they had ironed some clothes and just left the iron wherever, and like the ironing table thing was just in the middle of a room, and like stuff was knocked over, and you're like, because most guests kind of like neaten up before they leave, they're not like, they're not doing a deep clean or anything, but they're kind of like straightening up, and they'll pile up their towels, and this one was just like, it's just extra messy and
throw
extra
everything
sloppy. Yeah, it's just like, there's mascara on the towels, and you're just like, this is like a deep clean needs to happen now.
Yeah.
But that's it. I mean, honestly, we always joke where we're like, if that's the worst, that's really not that bad. It's like, these people were young and drunk and sloppy. That's it. Like, they didn't puke anywhere. They didn't, break the glass in the door. It's like, they were just messy.
Yeah. I feel the same way, because I was like, okay, it wasn't that bad, but everyone else is like perfect. So when someone does something like that, it's like, whoa.
Yeah. You compare it to all the perfect guests where you're like, but everybody else is like, there are times where you walk in one of our houses and you're like, was anybody even here? It doesn't look like anyone's here, which is amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
Wasn't one of Jay's biggest fears is like barbecue sauce on the white sofa or something like that, if I recall?
Yeah. You have a white sofa?
Yeah. We do not have a white sofa. But we have leather sofas. But yeah, it was like, when a house is first ready, when you're like, okay, our first guests are coming. I mean, you're just so like, everything looks perfect. It's clean. There's no scratches on the wall. It's freshly painted. And you have to kind of like loosen up after that, because, little kids are going to put their fingerprints on the walls, and like people's luggage inevitably scratches the hallway walls when they're going up the stairs. Like, that's just like, you're like, that's just going to happen, and you have to repair it, and just, that's it. So you can be really precious about it, but eventually over time you're like, as long as it's clean and everything is functioning and all the systems are functioning and your AC works and your plumbing works and your Wi-Fi works, like, you're fine.
Right.
It's cool.
So when y'all are doing your renovations, do you go for like, on the price scale, do you go for like high quality paint, the lower quality, medium? When it comes to like, putting floors in, is it like high, medium, cheap?
Yeah, it's high. It's high. I mean, the thing is like, we also are scavengers, so we are reusing materials, recycled materials. So like, flooring is always like, heartwood pine flooring out of Barnes in like North Carolina, and Jay will go down to North Carolina like 5 times. Like, we're pretty obsessed with materials, and that's why it takes us a long time, and it costs a lot of money.
What's your motto on that? Like, for buying high quality, is it like you put, good quality into it, so you don't have to like keep redoing it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just like you said. It's like, do the best thing now, because then it's done.
Yeah. I
mean, it's done for my lifetime. Like, my lifetime, I am not changing those floors. I will touch up paint, and, you'll repaint whenever, but like, everything is good to go. And, you can change things out. Like, we changed out some beds and some furniture when we found, new, better stuff that we're like, oh, this might be a little more comfortable. Let's change it out. But the plan is to just be like, this is good for 30 years. You're going to clean, you're going to do deep cleans, and you're going to replace things when they start looking shabby. But overall, you're not like, oh, this is okay for now. That's generally not how we work. We're like, this is going to be good until we're done doing rentals.
Is that same for furniture too?
I mean, furniture, like, actually, we did a whole podcast about this because we were like obsessed with it. And and what we do for furniture is we buy super high end furniture on Craigslist.
Okay.
And
good idea.
yeah, it's like rich people in the city who are like, oh, I bought all this brand new furniture from West Elm, and I got restationed. You know, they're in DC, and I'm selling it all for like super cheap, and we're like, great.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we do with offer up in Facebook Marketplace. Like if you go to the high end areas like Frisco and stuff here, because IKEA, not to dish you IKEA, but like if you're listening. Like, that stuff be breaking down sometimes.
Yeah,
Y'all use the Facebook Marketplace?
I'm not. I have to admit, I'm not on Facebook.
Okay. Good for you.
But yeah, there is a lot of Facebook, people who sell on Facebook. But I'm all about Craigslist and eBay, buying stuff in DC on eBay and just going and picking it up. Well, people sell a lot of furniture.
You're really missing out on a lot of good intelligent political banter by not being
so sarcastic.
No, but like
from the beginning of Facebook, like from day one, I was like, I hate this site. I can't.
No, but I don't know, because it'd be interesting, because I remember I was saying, because she said she's in a rural area. I wonder how Facebook Marketplace would work. Because I've been telling people to use it, but then I was like, that might not work in a rural area. If like somewhere here in DFW, it's easy to find cheap stuff, but like, I wonder how that would work.
Yeah, I mean it's the same with Craigslist. I mean the Craigslist in our area is like so minimal. Like you look at stuff and you're like, that was posted a month ago. But wow. I mean, we look in DC. Like we're just like DC area. It's like Fairfax County, Virginia is like the richest county in the country. So we're like, yep, that's who we want to buy furniture from.
Wow.
Nice.
Now Ryan, would you do me this, would you allow me to do an impression? I want to try an impression now. And tell me if it's good. Could you do that for me?
Wow.
I got to focus and concentrate real quick.
An impression of who?
An impression, you'll see.
Okay.
Okay. La 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 la. Okay, get my voice ready. Hello and welcome to another episode of Shampoo and Booze. was that spot on? Myka's laughing. I think
that was pretty good. It was pretty good. Yeah, we're huge fans of the show. You can see.
You sounded like a California Valley girl.
Was that
California Valley
another
girl?
Episode of Shampoo and Booze. Okay, could you do us that honor and do that for us, please?
What, to open Shampoo and Booze?
Yeah, you're opening.
You have to listen to Shampoo and Booze to hear me open Shampoo and Booze.
Oh, come on. just say Shampoo and Booze. Shampoo and Booze. You gotta drag it out. It's cool.
No, I won't do it. It's like my podcast / radio voice.
Yeah, she's like.
It's the same. Well, Scavenger Life, we have like 330 episodes, and I'm like, I literally say it the same every single time. Like, I'm just like, I've said it so many times.
Hold on, so Scavenger Life, I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm going to get into it. How many downloads do you guys have off that thing now? Like, is that like your main big thing is the Scavenger Life?
Yeah, we do Scavenger Life every single week. So that's partly why Shampoo and Booze has like suffered, because I'm like, we do that every single week. Every Sunday, it doesn't matter where we are in the world, we will, pretty much record that podcast. So, we've been doing it for like 4 years. I think it's 333 episodes. And so, yeah, that's the main. I don't know what the numbers are because our downloads are spread out. It's like the main MP3 downloads, and then there's like the YouTube. We put it on YouTube, but there's no video, but it's a podcast. So there's all these different metrics. And then we have a lot of people who are active on the forum. But we just talk about selling on eBay. That is the number one topic of. Yeah.
Nice.
That's me and Mahogany's next business. So we will be tuning in to Scavenger Life.
Scavenger Life, like that.
Okay, I have one. I have one last question. Only because I need to know this. How do you wash your comforters without them being damaged? Like, because I take ours to a cleaner, to the laundromat, because I washed them a couple times in my own. I'm not sure. I washed them myself in my washing machine a couple times, and it seemed like all the inside shifted to one side of the blanket. And I don't know if it's because we're buying cheap comforters or what. So how do you keep them from becoming damaged?
So we don't. I mean, I wash the comforters that are inside the duvet, several times a year. But we use duvet covers. So I buy my duvet cover and pillowcases from IKEA, mostly. And so what you do is you strip the cover and just wash the cover.
Nice.
What's it called?
It's called a duvet cover.
Duvet.
Yeah, so I just have a plain white comforter that's not super thick, and that gets covered by the duvet cover, and then I have a flat sheet also, so people are generally not like touching the comforter itself, and I wash the duvet cover every single time.
Nice. That's what I'm gonna do, so I could save a lot of money. Because it's like at first it was $25. It was $25 each, and then I made a deal with the cleaning lady, and she charged me $12.50 each. But still, that's too much. So thank you for that.
That's crazy. I mean, get a cover. I mean, a cover is as thin as a sheet, so you just wash it with your sheet. And I buy them all from IKEA, and they're affordable.
Thank you.
I like what Mahogany told the guest one time when he decided to cancel his stay at y'all's place.
What'd I say?
Remember? You suggested that he go stay at a hotel instead and sleep on dirty sheets or something.
Oh, that was Myka, of course.
What? No, that was you.
That was me?
Yeah. Myka showed me what you said.
I think he sent the text message. Did he?
He showed me what you said. You said, fine.
Oh, no, that was me.
I didn't say that crazy stuff. I was probably thinking it.
I didn't say it like that. I was just like, yeah, because he was in Canada, and he was going to one of our places in Canada, and he's like, yeah, man, we just ended up finding a hotel. And I was like, man, you're going to go there and sleep on those dirty sheets? And he cracked up laughing. He's like, hey, I swear next time I'm going to book with you guys. So, yeah, it was, pretty funny.
I pictured Mahogany saying it, you know. She
I
cuts to the chase, you know. She's pretty straightforward.
I could be pretty blunt. Yeah.
Yep.
You fellas have anything else?
Yeah, we got a bunch more questions. But, yeah, so, now I lost the screen. Here we go. Oh, we'll see. It is, since it is a mashup show, do you have anything to ask us? You know, like, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I do. I would love to know more about the rentals because don't you guys have like over 60 listings on Airbnb? I was looking at that and I was like, I don't even understand this. So you guys like
that's Myka and Mahogany.
Oh, our listings?
How do you have so many?
How do we have so many? Oh, we pretty much not only do we rent out like our condo and also our house, we also rent out timeshares. So, like, we're now up to, like, I think 250 listings. Mm-hmm. We just added a bunch. So, we're up to 250. I think by the end of next year, it should be at least 800 listings. Because we're still adding them. But what we do is we pretty much just rent out our timeshare. We take our timeshares and we just rent out the inventory specials and bonus time on them. And just make a huge profit off of it. Like, we might get a room for $50. And we just actually up the prices. So, like, we get a room for, you stay at a place for $50 for one night, and we'll just charge you like $120 for it.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part is they don't have to do any of the work.
Yeah, we do no work at all. Like, we don't have to schedule a cleaner or anything. It's all done by itself.
Well, because, the resort already has that in place. And so the units are randomly assigned to the guests when they book. We just go through our timeshare through WorldMark, and we reserve the room in their name because you can reserve it for a guest. It doesn't have to be in your name. Mm-hmm. So we'll just put it in the guest's name, and then they show their confirmation to the front desk, and they're randomly assigned a unit, which comes with its flaws sometimes because sometimes people see our pictures, which come off the WorldMark website. So, they see the room that they may not get. Like, it might have a balcony, but we can't guarantee them that exact unit. So it can get tricky sometimes, but Yeah, that's pretty much how we do it.
Yeah, we pretty much mastered it now. But yeah, it was like really rocky at the beginning because we had to learn it ourselves. So once we learned like the business side of it, it's pretty easy now.
But what we learned is people don't read.
What was that?
So those timeshares, I mean, they're in your name, and then you just put it in someone else's name, and the resort is totally cool with that.
Yep.
Yes.
Because we're the timeshare owner, and so we can just give the time to whoever we want to give it to.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
that's... how much time do you own per unit? Like, you only own, like, certain sections of time, right? Like, how does that work?
No, it's a timeshare. You pay, like, back in the day, my parents bought it in, like, 95. So now it's already paid off. So everything you do is profit. So pretty much you just pay this, you pretty much pay this timeshare off, and you pretty much have space in these condos all over the world whenever they have bonus time. We can go to them anytime we want to use our points, but we don't give the points away. We just use the points for whenever we want a vacation. And like they just have 3-month periods where they have, hey, you can go to Canada for the next 3 months and just pay this much. And we just have the guests pay it and they go. And it works out pretty well.
Yeah, at first we were using our time and we were running out of time.
Yeah, we didn't know the business of it. Like, we were giving them our points, and then we found out, we were like, oh, we started browsing through the website, and we found out, oh, we don't have to give them our points. We can just do it with cash, and that's when it just took off from there. We just started adding listings every day, just going in.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
They're the only people I know that love their timeshare.
Exactly.
Yeah, 90% of people I know, they want to sell it. And then I talk to them, they're like, how do you do that? And I was like, just got to read the fine print on the timeshare. It tells you all types of stuff. So
that's amazing. So I mean, is that a full-time job, just keeping up with inquiries and messages? I mean, that's a lot.
It is.
Yes. On Saturdays and Sundays, usually our busiest days as far as getting blown up is on a Sunday. Like, on a Sunday, it's just like, well, Mahogany gets tired of it. He's like, Myka, turn off your phone. Because it's just like,
Yeah, because the way I go, I'm like, look, if you don't need a book, like, tonight, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Those are the ones, like, we will go after, like, okay, we do have, like, a timetable. Like, if it's something that's, like, a couple weeks out, we'll wait, like, in the morning time. But if it's something like tonight, we'll go ahead and, boom, do it. And then, get paid for it the next day. So, it's you do have to kind of balance out what you want to answer. Like, if someone comes with inquiries, we do kind of push them to the back of the line because we have so many requests coming in.
Yeah, and I'm really big on family time. So, I mean, I don't want my son to only remember his parents always on phones and computers, So
yeah, not that.
So good for you for not having any kids, because
Dang.
Just kidding. I love my baby.
Yeah. That's amazing. I would love to talk. I know that Jay would talk to you for hours about that. So you guys might have to get on a separate phone call.
Oh yeah, we could do that, or we could have a Live Let Thrive Shampoo and Booze too. And he can.
Or we can come out there and stay in one of your places. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah, well, it would be. Go to Virginia.
Absolutely. I know we would love to have you guys come visit.
Awesome. Or we could have an all J show, and then we can compare the two, who gets the best ratings.
Yeah, exactly.
Bragging rights,
You have to compare the downloads. How many downloads do I get?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow, this is a great show. We already went over an hour, and yeah, this is fun.
Yeah, this is a good show.
We could just talk on and on, but we love. I mean, say it's Airbnb is something you're passionate about, and of course eBay, and that's cool. And that's what we're all this whole share economy thing.
I guess the ultimate question that we all want to know: are you guys going to continue with Shampoo and Booze?
Yes, I think we're going to continue. For a while we were just kind of like, does anybody care?
We care.
Yeah, we heard a lot of people were like, yes, we love it. It's okay if it's not every single week. I'm like, all right. Yeah. So, no, I love talking about this stuff. I mean, it's exciting and it's interesting and it's what you're passionate about, just like you guys. And like, how do you find these systems that work so that you don't have to work at an office or only work at an office sometimes when you want to? And it's exciting. So yeah, I think we're going to keep talking about it. We just need to make the time to do it. There's just so little time.
Oh, so little. Well, thank you so much, Ryan. Ryan from Shampoo and Booze, everybody.
Oh, thank you guys.
And yeah, we look forward to having you on again. Hope maybe y'all two can make a show. That'd be great. Yeah. And so, real quick, I have a question, real quick. What podcasts do you listen to? Just like a couple of your favorites, real quick.
Let's see, podcasts that I listen to. So it's usually podcasts that are only like super short, like
me too.
You know what I mean? They're like, this is 10 episodes. You know, like Serial, obviously, Serial. We were just listening to the Planet Money podcast today. Jay was streaming like a bunch of those, like every NPR podcast I listen to.
Oh yeah, I love NPR.
What's that?
Yeah,
National Public Radio.
NPR.
Yeah.
National Public Radio.
Is it national?
I think National Public
Radio.
Radio.
You're like, what's NPR?
I think isn't it National Public Radio?
Something like that.
Yeah, National Public Radio.
Oh, never
so there's a bunch of shows that are podcasts that I listen to mostly.
Awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, cool. We will listen to those. We'll try them out.
Well, Ryan, if you don't mind, I'm going to grab your number from my husband just in case I can't find this cover. This mattress cover.
Duvet cover.
Comforter
Duvet cover.
Duvet.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I can send you links to the ones that I like. And I think it's super important to have linens that like aren't crazy to clean, that you're like, this is insane.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been
Thanks
real.
for having me on, you guys. It's been really nice.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right. Well,
yeah,
we'll see
and I need to talk to you about how to become more frugal, because I do spend a lot of money. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh, I can talk all day about being.
And it's
frugal.
not even a whole lot. It's just like way more than, because I don't spend a lot for most women, huh, Myka?
Well, we don't. Well, we just go overboard at splurge time.
Oh, okay. Overboard at splurge time. That's one of my CDs, actually. Overboard at splurge time. Well, cool.
Just make splurge time like not ever. That's my advice.
Dang.
Oh.
Well, I can learn. I need to, because I don't want to be forced to work. But if we do get to the point of being financially free, I think I love my job so much I wouldn't want to quit but sometimes it gets stressful and I do want the option to walk off. But
yeah. Well, it's good you love your job. I feel like that's very rare.
Yeah, I'm an investigator for Child Protective Services, so I really feel like my job has a purpose.
Wow,
so
that's amazing.
That's why.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Well, thanks. All right, well, you have a good night. We're not going to hold you any longer.
Yeah, I know I'm an early bedtime girl. I'm like, it's 10 o'clock, what?
Well, you have a good night. And
tell Jay we said hi.
Yeah, tell Jay we said hi. We got to
definitely.
Yeah,
I know. He's
part
so
2.
Crazy.
All right, well, take care.
So much, guys. It's really nice to talk to you. I'm sure we'll talk to you soon.
Well, thank you
Good
very
deal.
much. See you soon.
See you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.